Welcome, family, to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbee. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, then go ahead and click that subscribe button so that you can be notified when we upload a new video. If you are already subscribed, then please give the video a like and share this video podcast with your friends. This will help get the ball rolling. This podcast is available in 3 forms: audio, video, and a written transcript in order for us to reach our audience. I also cite all of my sources under Show and Prove on my Medium page, which is where I post my transcript. I use this platform to interact with everyone on my friends list and everyone in my social groups by giving Black business owners free airtime to promote their products and services. I give people in the faith community an opportunity to share the gospel of Jesus Christ, and ordinary law-abiding citizens an opportunity to share their special talents and skills to my listeners from around the globe. After the show, I offer my guest speakers an incentive by teaching them how to create their own podcast and YouTube channel to help them earn extra revenue during COVID-19. I also assist people on my friends list with creating basic websites, finding college scholarships and grants, housing and legal services, all for free. We need your help now more than ever. Our film project, Hood Liberator Made in Chicago, The War Against Willie Lynch Begins, is funded by the Black grassroots and the global Black family. I am working with a shoestring budget as our community continues to grow. Our operational costs will also grow. If you got any value from our content this year, please consider supporting our film project in 3 ways. They are as follows: through our virtual store. We provide merchandise such as COVID face masks, coffee mugs, posters, handbags, and t-shirts. All the proceeds will go towards our film project. 2, through our PayPal page, GRCAM Chicago, which is the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago, is a faith-based community advocacy organization. Donations can be used as a tax write-off for U.S. citizens because this is a legal 501c3 nonprofit organization. 3, you can also support our film project by purchasing my revised book, quote, The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America, 2nd edition, which is available on my Amazon author page. I provide each website on my transcript under Show and Prove. You can also find each website on my YouTube channel under About section. When you're supporting our YouTube channel or our podcast, you're supporting an independent Black network which will eventually employ Black people in our films, stage plays, and in our actual business. We're gonna start getting things done. We need to own and control institutions in our neighborhoods. If you are unable to participate on the show, no worries. After the show, I upload my video podcast on my YouTube channel and on my Anchor page. When you have a moment, please watch my latest video podcast. Leave a public comment in the section on my YouTube page and on my Facebook page about the topic. Please share my information with your friends. This will help get the ball rolling. Instructions on how to participate on the show. First, watch my video podcast. This is called Side A. After I finish my presentation, then I will open up the phone lines through Facebook Messenger. This is called Side B. You can interact with me in real time either by voice call by clicking on the phone icon or by video call by clicking on the camera icon. Today's topic, my message to Black Millennials. GRCAM will set the standard for Black American youth, African youth, Caribbean youth, and Brazilian youth. Before I begin my presentation, I need to share something with my listeners. The grassroots community activist movement humbly asks you to help us fund our independent Black empowerment film, Hood Liberator Made in Chicago, The War Against Willie Lynch Began. 98% of our group members don't give. They simply look the other way. If you have already supported us through donations, purchasing items from our virtual store, or have purchased my revised book, then we sincerely appreciate it. If you donate just $5 or whatever you can, then our online talk show can continue to thrive for years. If our show has given you $5 worth of knowledge this year, take a minute to donate. Show the world that access to independent Black media is beneficial, reliable, and matters to you. We're taking our story to the next level, the big screen, in Jesus' name. Finally, I would like to remind our listeners to mark your calendar for November 10th, 2021. We will be celebrating the Grassroots Community Activist Movement 30th anniversary. If interested in participating on the show, then send me your email address to my Facebook inbox. I have 1,457 people on my Facebook friends list. I pray that God would touch everyone's heart for them to do their part in supporting our film project and sharing our video podcasts with their friends. This will help get the ball rolling. My vision goes beyond a small storefront in the inner city of Chicago. I am called to unite like-minded Black people around the globe to help me turn my vision into a reality, starting in Chicago. Returning back to the topic, my message to Black Millennials. GRCAM will set the standard for Black American youth, African youth, Caribbean youth, and Brazilian youth. Mainstream media isn't trying to hear what we have to say, so we are making our voices heard in cyberspace and now through our future film. Power in this season is coming from the ground up. GRCAM is a 21st century kingdom building, global Black unity, and Black economic empowerment virtual organization created to solve our social problems within the Black community, Africa, and throughout the African diaspora. Our podcast is the Black media component of the Grassroots Community Activist Movement. If you want to know what I have been doing in the Black community, then read my revised book. My revised book is the foundation of our Christian Socialist organization. You don't have to be a Christian to be part of this organization. Just as long as you are a law-abiding citizen and interested in improving the Black community and working with Black families, then you are welcome to join us. Sister Renee and I are looking for more than just smart people. We're looking for brave Black young adults who are serious about working with us and building up the Black community starting in Chicago. Sister Renee is the only person in Chicago at this time working with me. She has been assisting me for the past 9 years, and this is why it's taken so long for us to get this organization up and running. The only thing which is preventing me from turning our virtual Christian Socialist organization, GRCAM, into a real Christian business, GRCAM Chicago, is the lack of manpower and the capital. This is why I turn to social media to get my message out to the public through my YouTube videos, my social groups, my blog postings, my online talk show, my virtual store, my revised book, my PayPal page, and now through our future urban Christian film. This is my last attempt to try to do something positive for my racial group in America. The proceeds from the film will put me in a better position financially so that I can hire qualified black middle class professionals, buy office equipment, and purchase property on the west side and south side of Chicago, as well as in Africa and down the road in the Caribbean and Brazil. GRCAM Chicago will become a tourist attraction and help revitalize the black community and black businesses that's already there. GRCAM Chicago's mission is to eradicate urban violence in Chicago through arts, culture, commerce, and spiritual development. GRCAM Chicago will bring revenue to the black community while building up our own economy. Then we can solve many of these issues in black society. We will declare war on this Willie Lynch mentality within the black culture. In our business, we will learn how to heal collectively and stop destroying ourselves. We should not try to copy our oppressors. We have to create our own institutions, and that's all that I'm trying to do. We have access to a lot of resources in America. We just need to take care of ourselves as a collective. We need to connect with other like-minded black people who think like us. Then we can turn around our communities in America if enough of us are on code and involved with this organization. GRCAM Chicago will help prioritize our goals such as securing our neighborhoods and protecting our women and children. We will reach out to former gang members and people who were incarcerated for nonviolent crimes. This is what my creators called me to do. I agree with Mayor Lightfoot over no charges filed by Kim Fox in Chicago gang shooting. We see the video of urban terrorists shooting into someone's home, but if they done that same thing to a white family, they would be placed under the jail. I provide the video on my transcript under Show and Prove. I am trying to create a future for our children before I take my talents and skills to Africa. GRCAM Chicago will offer opportunities to young black youth and their families by meeting the need of the community while making meaningful connections through our films, our community events, and African tours. I can't build GRCAM Chicago alone. I need our group members from GRCAM to step up and help me turn my vision and plan into a reality by helping me raise the funds for our film project Point Blank. I believe this film will help inspire black people all over the world. Before I cut and run to Africa, I want to lead by example. I want the global black family to know what I had to endure for the past 29 years trying to help my people who are trapped in American ghettos. This film project is not just about me, but also about our active group members who have been with me on Facebook for 17 years. Every other racial group in America focused on being competitive. Black Americans is the only group focusing on kumbaya and being inclusive. Truth be told, all we are to other racial groups are tools for them to use and discard. The best example of this is the 2020 election. During that time, people all over the world got to see how black people are treated in America because of the brutal murder of George Floyd on video. The Democrats talked about getting the George Floyd Justice and Police Act during the political campaign. Black voters helped the Democrats win the presidency, the White House, and the Senate. The Biden administration wrote executive orders for the LGBT community, illegal immigrants from Latin America, Central America, and Mexico. They also passed a hate crime bill for Asians and gave them $50 million for their businesses. According to the LA LA Times, Congress failed to pass the George Floyd Act policing bill. The Democrats blame Republicans, saying negotiations failed. Tim Scott said he was disappointed that Democrats did not agree to end chokeholds, reduce the transfer of military equipment to police departments, and funding for mental health programs. He wanted to make sure the bill held law enforcement accountable. To learn more about this story, just go to my Medium page and read my transcript under Show and Prove. I will also post my transcript on my Facebook wall. The Democrats can't put this on Republicans because the Democrats control both the House and the Senate. They could pass the George Floyd Act policing bill on a simple majority vote. What did Joe Biden tell Black America before he got elected? He said he was going to return everything back prior to Donald Trump. This is the party that a majority of you voted for. Joe Biden does not support ending qualified immunity. Let's be real. Black America don't want a solution. Many black leaders have been given Black American solutions. People like Marcus Garvey, Harriet Tubman, Dr. John Henry Clark, and Dr. Ben, just to name a few. All of these solutions that black people have been sharing with us, yet a majority of us are still marching and protesting, begging the financial elites for freedom, justice, and equality for the past 53 years. How is that working out for you? I have been pushing my message online for 29 years. Truth be told, I believe all black people want is validation from white people. Black Americans have become Americanized and have embraced the dominant culture and their culture. Their solution is hope for the best under white supremacy. The Haitians saw how that worked out. Black people need to work with each other. That's the only way we can get things done. The Democrats will continue to put this mess with black people as long as black people keep voting for them and not making them pay politically for not delivering any tangibles. Like I said on my last podcast, I respect Dr. King Jr. and our grandparents for standing up and fighting for us to be treated as equals in America. But like I said in my revised book, Dr. King Jr. and our grandparents got caught up with pushing for integration. We began spending our money in white businesses while neglecting black businesses. As a consequence, our communities has been destroyed by outsiders through gentrification and from within by urban terrorists. We're in a world that is highly competitive and more connected due to the internet. All other racial groups are using this technology to build industries. We have to do the same. That's why I created GRCAM. Now I'm asking active group members to help me move our virtual organization to the big screen and in our communities, on a domestic front and on an international front. This is the reason why we will travel to Africa, is to build an international coalition with our African brothers and sisters from my African group called GRCAM of Africa. When I come to South Africa, I will bring the best of the diaspora. We will meet with evangelist Martha Mumba in person. She assists me with managing my African group. We will meet African entrepreneurs, spiritual leaders, and find ways how we can trade among ourselves. We will also work on shooting our next film entitled African Liberator, Battle Against the Colonized Mindset. This film will focus on continental Africans. A colonized mindset is the internalized attitude of ethnic or cultural inferiority felt by people as a result of being colonized by another racial group. It corresponds with the belief that the cultural values of the colonizers are inherently superior to African culture. And that's not true. So that's why, we want to debunk that mess. If Dubai can build itself up from their oil wells, just imagine what the diaspora and continental Africans can build in Africa. We will focus on agriculture, real estate, and technology when we come to Africa. For example, Africa is surrounded by oceans. We could use that for our advantage to fuel hydro energy for electricity to help in rolling blackouts in West Africa. In North Africa, in places such as Chad, Niger, and Sudan, we could place solar panels to help fuel solar energy from the Sahara Desert. Black media versus mainstream media. Mainstream media's mission is to control public opinion. They are funded by the financial elites. Our job in the black media is to counter their propaganda and liberate black people from the false narrative presented by the mainstream media. I found an article from the New York Times by Charles M. Blow. He starts off with a question: how much of this can black people stand? This question is a false premise, which when it comes to anti-black racism, there is no amount that we can afford to stand. Instead, he should have said the following: black people have had enough. Charles Blow, like the rest of the black bootlicks and sellouts, they know that there's not a lot of black Americans caping for migrants at this time. What's happening? You have a majority of black Americans who are descendants of American slaves realize that these migrants don't want nothing to do with black Americans, and as a result they lack support from black Americans. Blow goes on to say having Biden in the White House is better than Trump. I don't see the difference. Blow goes on to say we are obligated to choose one of the two major political parties, and protest abstention are suicidal. Ask the relatives of these Haitian migrants if supporting Biden is suicidal. Ask the families of black people murdered by road cops if Biden's lies about a police accountability commission were suicidal. For all you black Biden supporters out there, you voted for the lesser of two evils. How is that working out for you? Newsweek pointed out that Biden has had just as many migrants in private detention centers as Trump. I'm still waiting to see the difference. The financial elites created both political parties, pretending that either the Democrats or Republicans is better than the other. Now that's suicidal. What Charles Blow and other sellouts never address is the fact that if you're voting for the lesser of two evils, then you're still supporting white supremacy at the end of the day. Black people need new choices from the bottom up. Government is supposed to serve the people's interests. If neither party serves the people's interests, then we have to create our own independent party. What have the Democrats done to support black people? They had 10 months. Black people do not exist for the benefit of Democrats. Both parties ought to exist for our benefit. No matter what these bootlicks and sellouts tells you. Election is a transaction between political candidates and the people. With that being said, I'm going to open up the phone lines, and I'm going to wait around for about 15 minutes. If I don't have any callers, then we're going to call it a day. But bottom line, I'm doing the best that I can. I'm documenting what I've done since January. I've been trying to give everybody on my friends list and people that's in my social group an opportunity to come on my show. I'm giving you free air time. I'm not a sellout, but I know one thing for sure. I'm going to do the best that I can, to try to help my racial group. And I really believe that if we don't deal with this Willie Lynch mentality within black society fast, it's going to be the end of black America as we know it. The reason why the financial elites are allowing all these other non-black groups to come over is to neutralize the black vote, And so, it's difficult, and a lot of these our brothers and sisters that have this Willie Lynch mentality, they're going to be the fall of black America, but it's still hope for us. Again, this is why I'm doing my show. Yes, it's been a long 29 years, but I believe all this stuff is going to eventually pay off. I hope and pray that God would connect me with other people such as like Sister Renee to be on board to work with me and work with Sister Renee and getting our organization popping. But we want to focus on the film first and foremost so we can generate that capital. And so that way everybody throughout the world can know our story. GRCAM started online, but we want to move from behind the computer. Just like Amazon, Amazon started online, and now look at Amazon today. It's, they have a physical buildings, and, they're across the United States, and they're also global. So we want to imitate something similar to that, but from a black perspective. And we want to have a spiritual component because that's very important. But I do want secular people to be a part of this too, because after all, Jesus, he interacted with the tax collectors, and people didn't like that. Those religious people, they found fault with that. But he changed the religion, so to speak. He started his own. That's where Christianity, was formed. It was formed by Jesus. So he set the standards. And so, and yes, I know his real name is Yahshua. And but I try to say Jesus too. I use it interchangeably because I would just want to make sure people know that that they might not know that his real name is Yahshua. But nevertheless, he is over this organization. So if it doesn't come to pass in my lifetime, I tried. I planted the seed. I don't feel bad that I wasn't able to achieve my mission. But I know one thing for sure, I'm doing the best that I can. But again, we're going to raise the standards. And I am just grateful to have this opportunity to use this technology, especially in this day and age. Black America better wake up. Otherwise, you're going to be in for a rude awakening, because now we're in the era of consequences. And again, my heart and soul is want to be over there in Africa to build, help our people there, fight for our people there, get them on code, and for them to reclaim our ancestral homeland. Work together, the diaspora and continental Africans. We're tired of these the superpowers just sitting up here exploiting us. Tired of that mess. And so I want to take my talents and skills to the continent, but again, this is where I'm at. I'm on a shoestring budget, so I got to build the organization over here. I have no choice. But again, when I come to Africa, I'm not going to want to have to sit up here and go through the same mess, the nonsense that I have to go through here in America. That's not happening. So that's how come I want the global black family to know my story. Again, I'm reaching out to the masses. I'm not reaching out to those that's in the pockets of the financial elites. Again, I filled out different applications about, trying to get grants, and I was denied. And again, I know that the pushback is not coming from white people. I'm getting a lot of pushback from black people. And that's very discouraging. But that's okay. That's how come I'm telling my story. And why am I telling my story? Because I want to make sure that no other black person in America or in Africa or in the Caribbean or in Brazil will have to endure such foolishness that I had to go through. The grassroots community activist movement is based on my experience. And again, we want to raise the bar. We want to separate ourselves from those that don't want nothing out of life. Those that's hardened criminals, urban terrorists, pedophiles, active gang members, rapists. We don't want to be, we just want to keep our distance from those persons, because they don't mean the black race any good. So, with that being said, I would like to hear from my listeners out there. Alrighty. Phone lines are open.